Hello again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
This is episode 3 of Hello Sports Tech Live.
It
Hi
is,
to everyone who's watching.
and it's also the first episode where Benjamin has had a haircut.
And it's
Looking
also
good, my friend.
thank you, doing all right for my age, right? But it's also the first episode where Mr. Malhotra on this side of the screen has the same background, which means he is at the same location.
It is true. I have settled down in life. I have found my roots, and I have grounded myself. Yeah, well, let's see how long this
I
lasts.
do have some doubts about that, but what I'm also observing is that none of the books behind you has moved.
No, I mean the book I'm reading is right here. This is the only one that goes in and out of that spot. But
What are you reading?
no,
What are you reading at the moment? I mean, we got some time, right?
Sapiens. Yeah, I mean it's been a long time. It's been on my list for a long time. But yeah, after I read Born to Run, I just felt more organic and wanted to know more about our history and where our body comes from. And Sapiens just naturally came. The book will always find you, I think. But anyway,
We'll speak about something for your body in this episode as well. Just a little, just a little teaser there. But yeah, what is on the agenda today? You are always the guy who lets our viewers know what is happening.
yeah, as always, this show is about bringing you cool stories from the world of sports that Ben and I come across. We bring you 5 stories that we think are relevant and will impact you in some way, shape, or form in the near future. Then we will do the product review from last week. Ben did a cool one, I think. And lastly, the plus one story for the day, or the one plus, which is also my new phone. But the plus one story for the day, something interesting from the world of sports, which is a bit of a funny nugget that we'll debate on. But that's it. That's the format. Ben, anything to add, or should I jump in with the first
Yeah,
story?
two things. Slowly, my friend. First of all, I yeah, no time. Yeah, we're trying to crack a joke here and there. I'm trying my best from a German perspective. So Ron is the funny guy, as I always say. This show is made actually for people who like to do and watch sports. So it's not just some business talk. If you like to do sports or watch sports, this is for you because you will get to know the world of sports tech. At least that is our goal. And the second thing, we should work on that, is that we have this fabulous graphic to start our top 5.
Yes, Ben works on these graphics. We should use them.
Okay, yeah, whatever. So this is our kickoff for the top 5 sports tech news of the week that we're going to present to you. And I believe it is you, my friend, who's going to kick it off, right?
That is true. And the story I'm going to kick it off with is something that is happening with the LPGA. So Whoop is a company that we know, that some of us will know a lot about. And if you don't already, it's basically a wearable device which does not have a screen. The idea is data about your recovery first. I think they talk about sleep a lot. Um, and it's all the data is visible on your phone. Now, Whoop is in partnership with the LPGA to become the official partner, and they're going to provide a lot of data about these elite athletes. Makes a lot of sense. I think every player wants to know in their body before they come to their place of sport. Interestingly, Whoop also announced a partnership with the US. It's good enough for the American Army. I think to say it is good enough for the rest of us as well. Another really interesting partnership that I want to talk about is this one. It's a partnership between the AWS and the PGA Tour. Golf fans, I think you're really going to enjoy this. So AWS is going to basically bring a lot of cool new media formats to your golf watching experience. They have this every shot live thing that they're launching at the Players Championship, which starts, I believe, next week on the 11th of March, where through on the stream you can pick any player and literally watch every shot of theirs, follow whichever player you want. I believe they change camera angles as well, so every shot live you can pick every player and watch any shot of theirs. I think it's a cool space for any golf fan to be in. You're not reliant on the broadcaster. You just pick a golfer and go with that. Yeah, so a couple of really cool partnerships. Ben, are you a golfing fan? First of all,
I wouldn't say so. I mean, I always enjoy a game of mini golf, but that is it. I'm not sure if AWS is in that field yet. Um, but yeah, in general, I mean, of course, I find this interesting. Whoop seems to be an outstanding device as far as we know so far. I also know that they're trying to get into the European market heavily. I think I've recently seen an announcement that they're coming to Germany. So they're pushing hard on the consumer side, and now it seems like they're also pushing on the professional level. So
Yep, absolutely. The
seem to
last
be
word, Ben. I think you will enjoy this, and anybody who hasn't watched it yet, HBO released a documentary called Tiger. Must watch. The two part documentary just talking about the life. It takes him right up until last year's Masters that he won. Must watch. That's me done with golf. Out.
yeah, one of the greatest comebacks of all times, as some
That's
say.
right.
Okay,
That's right. Yeah.
sweet. I'm gonna go a bit more generic, and I'm gonna bring up the next news, number two. I really like this one, I have to say. I mean, you can read it what it is. It is a sweat patch. What is a sweat patch, you might ask? It is this little thing that you see on here, a patch that you just attach to your body. It's just like a tape. You take it, put it on your arm, and then you can use it. It is produced by Gatorade. I mean, they should know a thing or two about fluidity. And yeah, they announced it last week. It is available. You can buy a pack for 25 US dollar. At the moment, they're only shipping it to the US. And unfortunately, that's something I find a bit sad is that you can only use it once. So you choose your workout wisely. Um, what I want to show you is, I mean, this is the patch. And this is what it actually looks like when it's on your arm. So you put it there, you do your workout, you sweat obviously, and then you get, as the phone's display shows, this a sweat profile status, right? So you have to do your workout. That patch is connected to an iOS and Android app, and you very conveniently get your sweat results. And this is mainly three things. It's how much fluid you have lost, it's your sweat rate, so how much you sweat, and also your sodium loss. So they're particularly focusing on sodium. And they also have this nice video over here, which I found interesting. Let's check this out. So how this works is you have this patch on your arm, you scan it with your phone like a QR code, and then you immediately get your results. I think this looks really cool. And that is all I have to say about the sweat patch. So, Ron, what is your take on it? Would you use it?
Actually, I think your idea that you pinged me about separately was really cool. Like, we should definitely test this for Hello Sports Tech. Like, I can't, I mean, I don't know how interesting my sweat would be. Like, I don't know what I'm going to get from it, but I'm really curious to test it out. I think we should definitely do an episode of this.
Yeah, I'm working on it. So, like I said, they're only shipping to the US, but I might ask a friend if I can get it through him. The only thing I haven't checked yet is if the app is already available in the stores here, so if you can actually test it. But I'm on it. Let's test it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, let's go into the sauna instead of working out. Okay, that was topic number 4. We're always doing the countdown. So, Ron, what is number 3?
Number 3, what do we got? Okay, we have this story, which is from Scottish football. Now, if people who have watched our episode, last week's episode, which I hope you have, please at some point go check out the previous ones as well. We talked a lot about the automated line calls at the Australian Open and how basically umpiring in the Tennis Masters was becoming completely automated, even for the finals and stuff. They really trust the Hawkeye software. Now we're seeing humanless broadcasting of football. The Scottish League was the first, apparently, to do this. They're in partnership with a company called Pixelot, a company that we know very well. Israeli company. They do some of the coolest work in automated media production. So it's basically a camera that they fit on the venue. And without any human intervention, the camera will follow the ball, it'll follow the field of play. It'll apparently also know if there is any action outside of the field of play, like there's a fight that happens between two players who are not. And they said all of that happens without any human being involved, which is okay. That's an interesting idea. The other small addition to this story is that apparently two of the clubs in the Scottish League are also outsourcing their commentary. There's another company called Spock, which also we know really well. They've been around the sports tech circuit for a while. Shout out to Ben and them. Um, yeah, so Spock outsources commentary. So you anywhere sitting anywhere in the world can commentate on any game happening anywhere, right? I mean that's how often commentary is happening nowadays. But you don't have to be a normal broadcaster. If you're interested in doing commentary, you can sign up on Spock and they will send you some games that you have to commentate on. So they're basically crowdsourcing commentary, and that is now happening in professional league football. Interesting ways of how we're getting over this pandemic stuff. Ben, would you commentate on which sport Spock does it in different languages? So Ben, you could do some German stuff. Scottish League in German. Let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I would not be a good commentator. I'm already struggling in live shows. And yeah, I rather prefer to be on the listening side of things. But I just found it super interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
more and more leagues are offering that, and I would really be drawn into like more funny or more interesting commentary. So that is
Yeah.
really cool. I don't know, with some dialect, with some accent, with like, I don't know, cracking some jokes, with, I don't know, maybe even something rude, like intimidating the players, or I don't know, something that is not the normal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Actually, so Vishnu is somebody who just recently joined our team as an intern. Vishnu actually told me that he thinks you and I would make good commentators. So Ben, maybe all this rude stuff that you're doing, you could do yourself. Why not? Okay, go with the next one.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, let me bring that up. So what do we have? Here we go. It's my favorite topic of these days, right? The funny thing is, I can see Ron in backstage, and he's laughing. You cannot see him. So we're talking about digital collectibles. It was our #1 topic last week when we talked about NBA Top Shot. You know, this new super hyped initiative where you can buy moments from NBA games. I don't know, like Steph Curry doing the deep 3-pointer or whatever. And you can own one of those moments, or one of many moments. Yeah, and unfortunately, it's not our top topic for today because I could talk about it forever. Long story short, there is another new kid on the block, which is called Sorare. And they have launched a massive investment round last week. They announced it. I think it was like 50 million. I think it was 40 million euro. And amongst the investors was Gary Vaynerchuk, very well-known person in the world of technology and entrepreneurship. And there were also some football stars like Antoine Griezmann, Rio Ferdinand, German team manager Oliver Bierhoff was there. Amongst the investors. So all those guys put their money into this platform. So the big question is, what is Sorare? On Sorare, as you can already see on the screen, you can buy those Panini style player cards. And I'm gonna walk you through this a little bit. So on this platform, Sorare, and they have deals with a lot of fantastic football clubs. So it's not like NBA Top Shot where the league is actually issuing those moments. Here, Sorare has contracts with different teams, and I mean, you already see Ajax Amsterdam, you've seen Bayern Munich, now the screen changes Inter Milan, but they also have Real Madrid, FC Liverpool, so really good teams. And then you can buy those Panini style player cards. And as you can see at the moment, let's go for Samir Handanovic here from Inter Milan. At the moment, the bid for this card is at an unbelievable 847 euro or 0.646 Ethereum, because this is running the blockchain, but I'm not gonna make things too complicated here. But the key point is that instead of having, I don't know, thousands of Panini cards out there, you can go on this platform and you can buy those player cards. You can do it in two ways. Either new signings, this is when the Sorare platforms gives you the opportunity to bid for new cards, or if somebody has already bought a card, they can put it on the transfer market and then you can buy those cards directly. Let's go for an example. Let's say we want to go for FC Liverpool, or Liverpool FC. Let's see what is the lowest price that is currently asked for a player. So for 166 euro, and I think they're gonna add some fees to that as well, you can buy a James Milner card. which has the serial number 16 out of 100. So if you buy this, then you're one of maximum 100 owners of this James Milner card. You can have it in your gallery. You can just keep it. You can actually also play with it. A 5-a-side fantasy sports league included, or you can just enjoy your card or put it on the transfer market and potentially make some money with this. So this is Sorare in short. This is a massive topic. It's super trendy. It's all over the news. And I've spent some time on this platform and trying to figure it out, seeing what makes sense, bought a few cheap player cards and see how the value develops. Ron, what is your take on it? Would you, I mean, Manchester United is not on it yet. If they come on it, are you buying some cards? Are you speculating? Do you see the emotional value of those cards, of owning them?
I do. I think there is, I mean, especially now, everybody feels so disconnected from their team. I think that's one of the main reasons, or maybe one of the reasons, main or not, why these digital collectibles are coming to the fore. No, I get the use case. I mean, we've seen Sorare, we've seen, there was a story about Socios entering the American market. Socios is another company based out of Europe who do something similar. I mean, they do fan token trading. You already talked about Top Shot. There's a lot happening in the space. The value of me owning one, I don't know. I don't know what I'd do with it. Like I'm not super into the trading. I don't know. I don't know whether I would get into it. It's totally up your alley though. I can totally see you like going nuts on it. I don't know if it's
Yeah, I'll dive deep into it. But the funny thing is, I'm sure Manchester United will join at some point. So if you guys out there are gonna continue watching this spectacular weekly show, then I'm sure you can get an update at some point. If Ron is gonna purchase some Manchester United cards. By the way, I bought 4 cards, 3 times up because he's one of the cheapest players at Bayern Munich, and I bought 1 Arjen Robben playing for FC Groningen. So that's
nice. I like it.
Portfolio at the moment. Not so impressive, but I'm working on it. Okay, before I talk about it for too long, yeah, take us through the topic of the week. Go for it.
Yeah. All right. We're talking about money, so let's talk about some money betting. Yeah, and it's clear that sports are getting deeper and deeper and getting closer and closer together. Spoke about it last week about his partnership with Simplebet, which is connected to FanDuel, where they were allowing you to bet live by quarter. So different things that are happening in the quarter, not just like who's shooting from different parts, not just the score in that. Yeah. Another example of that deeper integration. Yahoo Sports is apparently going to launch an alternate betting-focused sports broadcast. So the commentators, the visualization on screen, everything is geared only towards betting. I think they had a screenshot of it somewhere. I don't know, it's in the other article that I'm going to show you. But basically, Yahoo Sportsbook, and Yahoo's making a betting, by the way, they're going to make dedicated stations for bettors. Can totally see the use case. I mean, the way a bettor watches a game is very different from where an average sports fan watches the game. So I can completely see the success of this, and I can see a lot of traffic moving this way. Now I mentioned in FanDuel and their partnership, it was these guys who did it together with the NBA. Now FanDuel has also got another partnership with Wave.tv, which focused on creating, now wait for it, social media content for betting. So Wave.tv, if you're not familiar with this platform, I wasn't, but I was familiar with some of their properties. So they have like 20 odd properties, which are some names that you're familiar with even. Slapshot, FTPL. These are different brands that they have, and either TikTok or Instagram primarily, which just create different types of content based on who their audience is. Think about content like House of Highlights, if you know these guys, like different guys doing crazy things in their home, like the guys who like throw a CD into like a CD from a distance, stuff like that. Yeah. Now they want to create betting focused content for FanDuel. Now think about this. It could be something like somebody who's watching the game, a bettor who's watching a game live, and he hits his jackpot, and how the reaction goes, or the vice versa, two people sitting together and how they react to their bets. that with dedicated social media content for bettors. This betting stuff is getting deeper. And I have one more. If FanDuel is up to something, DraftKings is not going to be far behind. Yeah. DraftKings has got a partnership with Dish TV. Now, I guess this is only for people in the US. If you use what TV Hopper platform, which I guess app, you can get an interface like this. This is how your screen can look. With these are, I don't know if this is big enough to see, but basically you've got odds happening on all of this part of your screen. You've got the different types of breakdowns on that part of your screen. Your screen is basically dedicated to a betting broadcast, and you can place through the traditional broadcast as well, interact through your remote, through the stream, sorry, and place bets continuously. So we're seeing deeper and deeper. This it is getting closer and closer. The trifecta of the betting companies, the broadcasters, and the leagues slash sports teams themselves. Their relationship is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And why? Because they're trying to get your wallet smaller and smaller and smaller, or rather, your wallet in betting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the goal that they're going for. So while Ben, who's going to come back now, while he's spending his money on those, Ben, have you got a tiny budget for the betting markets for all these guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll find something somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe are we allowed to place bets with the company money, or is it not allowed?
I think we can have an offline, non-recorded conversation for that, so that our investors never know. But I say yes.
I got a bunch of things to say. Three things actually. I hope I can remember them. Number one, first of all, I mean it looks cool, but it reminds me a little bit. That's more on the funny side of things. Of those little betting parlors or like little bars that you have in Berlin here, like those. I don't know if you're allowed to say. Yeah, it's our show. We can say whatever we want to say. Those typical bars here, you know, where some people hang out, mostly shady people a little bit, and they're looking at Brazilian screens. And I don't know, and they're placing their bets. It reminds me of that a little bit, but in cooler, probably. Yeah, that is number one. Number two, what I was wondering about is, I mean, one of the main things here is to align what people see on the screen with what you can actually bet on, because typically the experience so far is that you have your bets on your second screen on your phone, and then you watch the stream, the TV signal or whatever. And then mostly the TV signal is a bit behind, so you probably don't get like the most accurate codes. So I'm really curious how they're going to solve this now, because you got to see it at one display, and then your expectation towards whoever is showing this to you is, hey guys, this should be in real time and aligned with each other. Yeah. So that's one question that I had in mind.
There was a third one as well, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to say something.
Yes.
Fine, it's go for it.
No, I mean it's just a cool story. I think it's an interesting one. I think the integration between betting and sports getting deeper and deeper this is only going to a trend that's going to continue. But yeah, it's something that we're going to cover right here. Have you got it? You got number three?
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to let you talk a bit. Number three was that it's a bit stereotype, but I would say the Americans, they just get it. They're just doing it right. You know, betting is around for so long in Europe. You know, it has not changed in ages. And then in North America, betting is legalized, and immediately so many cool things are happening. I mean, what you said with the social integration, like having the odds on the screen, this is how it's supposed to be played. I mean, unless you say betting is a bad thing, and I mean, obviously you can lose a lot of money, right? And I mean, we're not giving investment advice here, but I'm considering, speaking about where to put your money, rather than placing bets, I would rather buy some stock of DraftKings. I mean, they have announced really good quality.
That's a good bet. That's a good bet.
The quarterly figures have been outstanding. Like a couple of days ago, the stock price went up. But with this news as well, I'm considering it even more. No investment advice, right?
Love it.
Then that was our top five. That's two more things for today. Let me first speak about what we were testing last week. Okay, let me do that.
Questions about our current fitness level, our exercise goals, and the parts of our body.
So I should turn off the sound. So this is me testing the FitCam app. What is the FitCam app? As you can see, with my smartphone, I'm measuring my exercises. In this case, I'm doing squats. So this is an AI-powered fitness app, which is also good for some things on the health side of things. But yeah, the cool thing is with the app, I can track my exercises, I get visual feedback from the app, I get audio feedback from the app, and they're actually analyzing my posture as well. So I'm also getting feedback on that. And my excitement that you see on the screen is that they are actually calculating a tailored program for myself that I can use to work out. And yeah, I was testing it. It worked super well. I had no complaints besides a few little bugs here and there, but overall it was like a really, really good experience. And what I like the most is that they have so many exercises. Let me quickly show that to you. You can see them here, like planks, push-ups, squats, that it can automatically track, and it just works really, really well. And on the next screen, we're going to see that in a second. Yeah, these are the feedback that I was feedback scenes that I just was talking about. So you know what you're doing wrong and where you can improve with your posture. Another cool feature is the one you see here. They also have a blur function. So if you don't like to be recorded in full beauty with your smartphone, you can enter this blur mode, and yeah, they don't show you in full resolution. And as you can also see, if you're getting out of the posture that you're supposed to be in, the app automatically realizes that you're doing this and stops the workout. Long story short, a really good app to get training programs, to track what you're actually doing with only your smartphone. That's all you need. And you get some really good feedback on that. And the pricing is actually okay. I think you can have a free 2-week test version, and then I think you pay maximum $10 a month. So I would recommend testing the free version and see if it's for you. I enjoyed it. I think it's a really, really cool app. And if you want to see the full review, go on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/HelloSportsTech, and watch the rest. That is the app or the review of the week. Mr. Malhotra.
I like it. I think it was a really cool one. I think we did a similar app for yoga, which was basically using the camera to check your form, but except that one actually had like a device. There was like the yoga notch device. This one was just purely from the camera. How did it feel for you? Like, did you feel like it was accurate? Did you feel really good?
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, it worked. Yeah. I was impressed. I mean, it felt like it got all my movements. It worked like a charm. It was super easy. And oh, good news.
Then it's a solid one. Go check out.
One thing in the video, I'm saying that it's only available for iOS, which is true. Not good for you, even though you have your spare iPhone now. But I talked to the founder today about some other things, and he said the Android app is coming soon this summer, so you can actually test it as well.
I like it. Let's go. All right, that brings us to our last story for the day, and our fun one, and it's actually an interesting one. Yeah, so the next time you see drones flying around a stadium and you're wondering what they're doing, basically they are sanitize the stadium. That's what is going on. So this guy, who, can you see? I think this is my screen doing some buggy stuff. That's the drone, and that's the guy flying the drone. And you can see he's basically sanitizing the stadium. And that's the objective. The idea is that they will help in a COVID world, make sure the seats are clean and well sanitized. Now, why this is a cool story also is that where the idea came from for this guy, who is, by the way, a former coach. Yeah, he's been a coach in the major leagues. He was a major league baseballer himself, played in the minor leagues for a number of years, Dan. But he also spent a lot of his childhood on a farm. And so he's used to crop dusting, and he's been used to spraying insecticide on all his crops and in his farms. And he brought that idea to sports and baseball. He was like, why can't I just use the same idea and to help sanitize the stadium? Which I thought is pretty cool. And he got an agreement with the Texas Rangers. That's what they're doing this. The funny part of the story I find is that, I mean, obviously it's meant to help people get back into stadiums in this post-COVID world and all that. But COVID, you don't really get it from seats, so you don't get it from surfaces. It's more person to person. So yeah, but no, if anything which helps, like get your mental fatigue out, that hey, this is going to help me help people feel more secure. I think it's a fair one. Ben, would you, if you saw a stadium was sanitized with like this, would you go? Like if you see the drone flying, you're like, I'm going to that stadium.
Who would say that? Hey, there's a drone stadium. Let's go. No, would be amazed by the technology, right? But I can see some other use cases that are potentially better. I had the same thought that you had. Yeah, connected to that, this week I was on the phone with a company. It's a very young company, and they are planning to use drones to fly banners around the stadium, which I found really interesting. At the beginning, it's normal banners, and then it's going to be LED banners at some point. They created lots of interest actually. Then speaking of drones, I mean, one company that we like is Flyfoot, who use drones to record amateur football games. Really good, interesting footage there. And what is always in those "what is coming someday" presentations is drones delivering food and beverages to the seats. I mean, I always have the British Premier League in my mind, where some idiot in the stand is going to throw his beer against the drone, and I don't know, somebody will die probably. I mean, yeah, that fear aside, I think there are some interesting use cases for drones in sports, and yeah, I'd be interested to check out all of them.
So we have three certainties of sports: NFTs and tokens, betting sports, and now drones in sports. These combinations cannot be gotten away from. All right, I think that's our show for this week.
Yes, exactly. We took more time than we did last time. We wanted to be quicker. What happened? I don't know. Yeah, long story short, like you said, show is over. We presented 5 top news. We presented an interesting app to be tested. We had the +1. That is it. Anything you want to add, my friend?
Nah, just all our social handles. Get our YouTube channel in there, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure to follow us in all those places. All these handles that are popping up below you right now. And that's it. Stay tuned. We got more content coming to you.
And also available as podcast, this recording, if you are not the person. Sweet. That's it. Have a good day, evening, night, whatever. Adios.
Ciao.